Just ahead on American Sunrise, an alleged Saudi arms dealer now buying the Capitol Hilton in Washington, D.C. There are reports about this. We're going to talk about what this would all look like. We have reaction throughout the show. Plus, President Trump continues to slam Chicago crime as the administration weighs sending the National Guard or not to combat crime. What can we expect here? We're going to take a look at that. And finally, what made this woman steal a baseball from a child to lead her to become the most hated woman on the internet today? We have those stories, so much more. American Sunrise, you guys, starts right now.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
We have breaking news to share with you.
politics,
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
we've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina. Good morning. I'm Dr. Gina. We are live with you from the Palm Beaches. Let's bring in David Brody. He's in Washington, D.C., and T. Bates is in our Denver newsroom. Good morning, gentlemen. It's a rainy one here.
Well, it's sunny here. Welcome back.
Thank
And
you.
I mean sunny, not in D.C. It's sunny on the air. Welcome back, Gina. We're happy
Nice
to
to
have
be
you.
back with
Thanks
both
for
of you.
joining us this
Absolutely.
morning.
Good to be
You
with
did
you.
bring a ray of sunshine between two clouds here. Look, guys, there's a lot to talk about this morning. That would be David and me. We're the clouds. You are the ray of sunshine. There's a kind of a developing story that we're working. We're talking to our sources to try to confirm a potentially disturbing story involving international arms dealer Rafiq Saeed buying American hotel chain Braemar Hotels and Resorts, which, by the way, owns the Capitol Hilton, which is just a stone's throw from the White House. Saeed reportedly has a controlling interest in Al Shams Investments, which is the buyer of this hotel chain. He's known for having brokered the Al Yama arms deal between the United Kingdom and Saudi Arabia back in the 1980s. Saeed has even been debanked by Britain's Barclays Bank amid concerns about his connections to, quote, high-risk countries. That's coming from Barclays Bank. Our colleague Eric Bolling broke this developing story, and we're, of course, continuing to keep an eye on it. But Dr. Gina and David, I think the overarching story here is a crackdown and all these other outside actors who are coming into this country trying to buy our property. The crackdown that we've already seen involves China and farmlands, but this is just another iteration thereof.
Yeah, and I think we'll wait and see. It's definitely worth monitoring, and as we get more details, obviously we'll bring it with you, Dr. G, or bring it to you, Dr. G.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a there, it's a there. You know, I mean, that is...
That's a good point.
That's as pro as I go on this Monday morning. But no, I think it's an interesting story for sure. And as you said, just getting reports. We're going to keep an eye on it, monitoring it. Eric Bolling reporting. Let's get to today's Bible verse if we can. You guys ready?
Let's do that.
It's Jeremiah 31:25. And it says this: "For I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul." Good reminder for this Monday morning. For more concerning this interesting deal developing in Washington, D.C. that we discussed, that Eric Bolling reported, we have Chief White House Correspondent Brian Glenn. Brian, what do you know about this? It's funny. There's like a vacuum of information on this right now.
There is. Good morning and welcome back,
Good morning,
Dr.
thank
Gina.
you.
I just learned about the story here recently with Eric's reporting on it. I think, but it is something to monitor. I mean, keep in mind there's several events that is held at that hotel. One being not only the Correspondents Dinner, but Ralph Reed's faith and religion conference that he has there. He has it at that hotel. So there's a lot to, I guess, to keep an eye on this. And it does bring up another question. I mean, should we be allowing, I guess, foreign governments, foreign people known to have links to maybe some questionable organizations, should they be allowed to own property in and around a government building? It's definitely, I applaud Eric for kind of breaking this story, but I think it's something that we should all keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, and make sure we do that in all caps with allegedly. So, and we'll just see how that pans out for sure.
There you go.
Hey, Brian, let's move on to the Trump Truth Social post over the weekend. It has liberals grabbing the smelling salts yet again. Here's the meme where he's comparing Chicago to Apocalypse Now. Quote, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning." And then he actually wrote, quote, "Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War." Brian, what's the latest? Because my understanding is that federal agents are going to go into Chicago this week. I think the question really is, will the National Guard go with them? It's two distinctive things there. You can send the FBI and ATF and all the federal agents you want. Then the National Guard is the not next level, but another layer, if you will.
Yeah, David, I think that he will bring in the National Guard in conjunction to this. Now, he was asked before he got on the plane to go to New York for the U.S. Open. A reporter asked him specifically about, are you launching war on Chicago? And, you know, over the weekend they had a free D.C. march. And what I noticed was the buses that they bust all these people in from around the country to come march on D.C. on behalf of people who live in D.C. I saw the National Guard on the way here today. You know what they're doing? They're picking up trash along Constitutional Avenue. I saw about 20 of them. They had their bags and their little devices to pick up the trash. They're working on the streets here. And so if you're in Chicago and you figure the National Guard's coming to crack down on immigration, and crack down on crime, they're also cracking down on the beautification process of your city. So this is a good thing. So I do anticipate, David, the National Guard joining any other agency that's going to Chicago to take things. And note, I did see some social media posts, and this is very disturbing, on TikTok of, I guess, alleged gang members calling out other rival gang members in Chicago to take to the streets and meet these National Guard head on. I certainly hope that that's not the case there, but it looks like they will be met with some resistance in the streets.
They can FAFO if they want to. Hopefully they don't try to.
Yep.
Brian, a bit of a personal note here. Are you headed over to the Bible Museum? And I asked that question because I was just looking at the prep for President Trump's schedule today, and it looks like he's going to be visiting the Bible Museum today. Am I right there? Did I see that right?
Yeah, he is. Yep, you did. We had gotten the notification late last night that he was attending the Museum of Bible to speak at about 10:10 here local time. So with some faith leaders as well. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to make my way over to the Museum of Bible, which is only a couple miles away, actually. So we'll see what he has to say there. And I don't know if he's going to take questions from the media. I would probably hint that he won't at this particular event. But we've got the week ahead. It's busy. It's always busy. And as a personal note, the blue tent that we asked President Trump in the Oval Office on Friday about speculation, could it be removed? Some say it's a public health concern. Some people say it's a national security risk. I claim that no one had the right to basically camp or live in Lafayette Park. And so Sunday morning, crews came out and they removed the blue tent, but their Second Amendment right, or First Amendment right rather, freedom of speech is still there. They're still out there. Signs are still there, but that structural blue tent is gone.
Yeah, that's the question, of course, that you asked President Trump if this decades-old protest tent will be removed from the White House grounds. Here's how Trump responded. Let's listen to this.
Just out front of the White House is a blue tent that originally was put there to be an anti-nuclear tent for nuclear arms. It's kind of morphed into more of an anti-American at sometimes, anti-Trump at many times.
Where is this blue tent?
Right in front of the White House on the north lawn on the other side of the Black Gate in Lafayette.
I haven't known this.
All of us in here walk right by it every day. It is an eyesore.
Oh, I didn't know that. Take it down. Take it down today, right now. Nobody told me that. So you're saying there's a blue tent?
It's been there for 30 plus years. It was originally a peace tent, but it's kind of morphed into something.
Yeah, morphed into radical left. Okay.
Well, but I've heard.
Is it in the Ellipse? Where is it?
No, it's in Lafayette Park. It's actually
Lafayette Park. Take it down.
Shocking he didn't know about it, Brian.
It is, but sometimes we assume the president knows everything.
Yeah.
But he was not aware of this tent. Now, I will say this: the backstory on it was constructed or put there in 1978. In 1981, they officially had a permit to have it in that park, but it has morphed into much more than just an anti-nuclear war tent. It has morphed into more of a Marxist. It's got more of a communist. They still have a peace, I guess, theme about it, but it is an anti-American, anti-Trump tent. And I have no problem, and Dr. Gina, I've been getting a lot of heat on social media about the removal of this tent. I have no problem with their message. If they want to hate America, they can stand out there and hate all they want. I have a problem with having a structural, a piece of material that acts as a housing, as that tent did. And for someone to say they didn't live under the tent, that's wrong. They had to man it 24/7, which makes it where they are living in the tent. It's an eyesore. People come to this nation's capital. President Trump has done an amazing job cleaning up the crime on the streets. He's doing a beautification process. We're placing grass in parks and curbs and bridges and things like that. So why not take the biggest eyesore away, which was this awful blue tent? So I stand for their First Amendment. I stand for their freedom of speech. I do not want to take that away. Matter of fact, I hope more of them come out there and scream about hating this country. I encourage it, but they will not do it with this structural tent in place, as that is not what that park and that freedom of speech is meant to do. You can't live in the park. You can visit, but you can't live in it.
Brian Glenn, thanks for your time. Thanks for your great questions, by the way. I always love, and I can tell he loves when you ask questions, so thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, coming up, we're going to check out the hottest headlines from the RAV newsroom with T. Bates. And later, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker says the Trump administration's strike on a boat carrying suspected drug smugglers was illegal. We have his comments ahead here on American Sunrise.